Hello, one and all, and welcome to the 181st episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on April 24th, 2022. On the podcast today, we have Ryan Holtz, the man who did the fuck. It was the monster fuck. He did the fuck. It was
a graveyard fuck.
He did the fuck. Ryan shared with me that series of videos, that borderline chronology, and I enjoy them deeply.
As Wolfman wolfed down Frankenstein's ass. And Frankenstein's bride was horny as hell. the hunchback went bareback and rang her bell.
What the fuck is this?
Oh,
I'm
no.
listening to a lot of Comedy Bang Bang, the podcast, and there's a running bit on it where a guy comes on whose name is, Leo Campazzi or something like that, who in real life is the writer of the Monster Mash, the classic Halloween song from like the 60s.
Yeah.
And the conceit of the character is that he's the original version of the Monster Mash was too extreme for the record executives, and they thought that audiences wouldn't gel with it at the time. So he wrote a sanitized version that became the song we all know today. But I'm here to give you the fully unedited, unfiltered original version of the Monster Mash, which is called Monster Fuck. And it is both like genius, like there are some lines that are legitimately really funny, and also really stupid and not creative at all in like the most perfect way. Like, yeah, he says they did the monster fuck. It was a graveyard fuck. Like, just like not even putting any effort into the chorus. But then the verses are legitimately like well thought out monster orgy rhymes, and it's pretty good.
And this has been going on for like 12 years now, and there's a whole overarching narrative to this character. At some point, he decides, hey man, the market for Halloween-themed music, too narrow. I'm going to branch out. I'm going to make a Hanukkah song.
Yep.
And then it's just the monster fuck again.
Yeah, I know. He's like, oh yeah, it's a growing market. Like, and then it's like the 7th time when he does the Hanukkah song version. They're just like, are you positive that this is not the monster fuck? He's like, not the monster fuck at all. I'll swear on anything. And he's like, will you swear on your granddaughter's life? And he's like, without hesitation, 100%. His granddaughter is the one that does the backup vocals, like, the Monster Mash. Like, he's just like, without hesitation, completely different song. You have nothing to worry about. This is my new Hanukkah song. And then, yeah, like, it starts with, like, the bubbling of beakers. He's just like, I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes began. You're just like, motherfucker. And, yeah, that's the character. The whole bit is that, yeah, he somehow convinces them that he's not going to sing the monster fuck. And then he sings the exact same song with minimal adjustments. The adjustments being, like, he says, they did the monster fuck part 7, Hanukkah version. And then he just, like, continues to sing the main song. So it's a good bit.
Yeah.
It's really funny. The actor, or the comedian who does that bit, that's his only character on Comedy Bang Bang. Like, most people have, like, 5 or 6 characters.
He just comes on to do that exclusively?
Yeah. To do that character once a year, usually during the Halloween episode, just sing convince the host that he's not going to sing the monster fuck, and then he sings the monster fuck, and then the host gets really mad. There are repercussions, like when he swore on his granddaughter's life. Next year he came back and he had his grandson with him. He's like, unfortunately, Scaroline, my granddaughter, she did pass, so this is my grandson. And then at one point he swears on his granddaughter, so like she'll go to hell. She'll be dragged down to hell if he's not gonna sing it. And he's like, 100%, guarantee it. Swear on my granddaughter being dragged down to hell. This is not the monster fuck. Brand new song. Yeah, I don't know. It's random.
Yeah.
Everyone listen to it. It's a good gag. It's gross.
Yeah.
I showed Angel it, and she was like, "That's a lot. That was really gross." I was like, "Fair."
In the
I
iteration,
think I've lost that response.
in the iteration of how that interaction shook out that I heard, Angel's default was, don't like it. Show this to Lucas. This is
when I started playing it, she was like, "No, Lucas, where's Lucas? Lucas will like it."
Well, that's who I am. Apparently, I am. I'm the guy people think would be into the monster fuck. Yeah,
Everyone should be into the monster fuck. The video that I showed Lucas is literally a who's who of the LA comedy scene, sitting around a table, and they're all just losing their shit as he goes deeper and deeper into the monster fuck.
and then also on the podcast today, we have a man who is the fire alarm. Andrew Clark, your building almost burned down today.
I mean, almost. Well, you can say almost anything. Like, we don't know how close
My building
almost
almost
is.
burned down today.
Oh.
Like someone probably had
okay.
an open flame
good,
at some point that could have easily.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple of days ago, Jade shared a post with me that said, like, you know, we're all living in apartment buildings that resemble prisons with the, like, tacit understanding with our neighbors that we trust them to not kill us all in our sleep by burning the place down after falling asleep with a lit cigarette in their mouth, like that kind of thing. And
Okay.
yeah. We are all just one mistake away from someone killing us.
Especially when we drive.
Yeah.
That's just easy. But yeah, no, the lit cigarette thing. That's why. Do you guys remember learning about spontaneous combustion in school?
Vaguely.
How there were these mysterious,
we learned about it in the way that, like, a science teacher once brought it up and said it's all bullshit. Don't listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like we learned about it as like it was like a mystery that had like some explanations. Like it wasn't like God was burning people alive or whatever. Like it was like there's some various explanations for it. But yeah, the one that has emerged, like I've since looked it up, is like people used to smoke, fall asleep with a cigarette in their mouth, and then like
They wore all cotton clothing and had...
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have the flame retardant materials that we have now, and people were like more flammable, I think, or something. I don't know if it was diet or something like that.
Okay, look, if you're passing out with a cigarette in your mouth, you have been drinking all day, I think is the implication. So then your clothes are probably stained with rye whiskey or moonshine.
Well, also, yeah, you're, not coherent and probably can't put yourself out. And, maybe this is the 70s and you just have copious amounts of hairspray in. So, like, your whole shit is going to go up like a tinderbox.
So
yeah, that might have been one of the reasons.
So then, and it's probably a combination of a couple of things, but the prevailing theories on how this misnomer could have emerged in my mind are, one, this was just some firefighter got quoted by a newspaper that, we don't know why this person started on fire, why this place burned down. Spontaneous combustion, I don't know, like just speaking off the cuff, not really formulating their thoughts. Or it could have been an overt effort by tobacco companies to not have their products. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all trying to get to the bottom of...
We're all trying to find who did this. Yeah, no, like... I mean, I think the weird part was that they were still in their chairs. I think that's why people were weirded out, because, if we light on fire... we're gonna at least stand up and be like, like they'd just still be sitting in their chair, like burnt to a crisp. And everyone was like, why, what happened? Why are they? But yeah, it was just that they would burn so fast that they would basically instantly die. Do bodies that are like burnt to a crisp, do they still like rot and like smell bad and stuff? Or are they like, they're good?
I mean, it depends on how much of a crisp you're talking about, because I mean the whole idea of burning is you're taking organic material and reducing it to its most basic form of carbon, and so if you burn a lot, you're still gonna have like fleshy non-carbon ash stuff like in the center of you, like deeper down, and eventually that will rot. But like if you burn down into a skeleton, there's not going to be anything to rot.
There's stuff in bones. There's like
yeah.
Does that burn? Like the bones burn from the inside out?
I think bones might be too...
They'll crack.
They're
bones
not
crack
porous
and stuff.
enough for bacteria to get in there unless, they are broken apart, I think. I might be talking shit, though. I don't know. Hello, I'm the third member of this podcast, Lucas the Writer. I didn't think of an intro for myself. I had a stray thought the other day where I think it'd be pretty funny to vandalize bumper stickers, but in a way where it's not overtly clear that they've been vandalized. Like, what if...
Okay.
Like,
what if somebody...
taking... like a "Don't Tread on Me" license plate and replacing it with a "No Step on
TikTok.
No Step on Steak.
No step on steak.
What if, like, I don't know, somebody had a coexist bumper sticker and just slapped a question mark onto the back of that?
Coexist?
Yeah. Or what if, like, did the POW fallen soldier thing, which may or may not still be a conspiracy theory. What if then just a larger, like, Calvin pissing on that?
Jesus.
Wait, so
wait.
POW MIA is a conspiracy theory?
Yeah,
What are you
saying?
Yeah. So I think we're far enough out now, like enough generations removed, where people are like genuinely putting that flag up. But originally, it has some roots in a conspiracy theory that the U.S. just left a bunch of troops in Vietnam.
I've never heard of this.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, but even if they did, does that undermine the mission of POW MIA?
Like, prisoners of war...
Like, the people themselves didn't do anything.
Right.
Yeah. Like, a POW MIA is not, like, an effort to raise a militia to go get revenge for the people responsible for these soldiers being missing.
Right.
It's just like, hey, these people went missing or were prisoners of war and got fucked up. That's bad.
That's what this means now. Originally, I think the flag, the logo, was like a dog whistle for... Yeah, because, out in public, you would just see that and think, oh, yeah, this person cares about veterans or troops that have been, irreparably harmed in war. But also, hey, man, you hear about the government just leaving a bunch of Americans in Vietnam? That's fucked up. We should raid the Capitol about this. Yeah.
I don't know.
So it was like a anarchist?
I think it was like right-wing tinfoil hat.
Interesting.
I feel like those people would be least inclined to say that, like, the military did bad stuff.
No, not the military. The fucking soft Democrats who made us leave Vietnam, which we totally could have won.
Nixon was president. Nixon was the one that ended the Vietnam War.
But the hippies forced his hand.
He ran on a platform of, I'm going to end the Vietnam War.
Hippies. Yeah, he did get elected based on that.
He got elected mostly because he said, I have a secret plan to end the Vietnam War. I can't tell any of you about it because it's so secret.
It involves me committing treason so that the North Vietnamese won't negotiate with the current regime so that I can become president. Tricky dick.
Yeah.
Literally communicating with a country we are currently at war with and saying, hey, what if you just didn't end the war yet so I can win?
That one I didn't hear about. I didn't know that one.
Yeah. No, Richard Nixon sabotaged peace talks.
Yep.
So that he could run on that platform of, I will end the Vietnam War. He
Damn.
literally called the North Vietnamese government and said, hey, you're going to get a much better deal with me. Hold off on these peace talks.
Yo, can we keep this going for like 6 more months? That would be dope.
Yeah.
I saw today another rehashing of someone bringing back the... completely doubling down on... Not only was, bombing Japan with the atomic bombs in World War II absolutely necessary, they also deserved it. And it's like, oh my god. I can understand if you just, bought into the brainwashed bullshit of like, it was our only chance of ending the war, even though it was just a scheme so that Russia wouldn't get part of Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Japan was already in the process of surrendering. But they're like, no, not only did we have to? We should have done it. It was a good thing that we did. Oh
that is a leap from the bullshit patriotism brainwashing that all Americans go through. Everyone who was in the American education system experienced. That's a leap from that, which I can understand that at least, to, oh wow, you're just advocating for war crimes.
Yeah.
Dope.
I remember our 7th grade history teacher literally taught us that, like, with the atomic bomb. Like, he was like, it was a terrible thing. 250,000 people died combined between the 2 bombings. Unfortunately, it was necessary. Like, the United States made all those Purple Hearts, and we're still using those Purple Hearts that were planned for the eventual invasion of Japan, blah, 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 blah. They taught all that. And then we had a debate at, like, the end of the school year where we had to pick sides. And I remember one kid was, like, he was the one that got the side of, like, against using the atomic bomb, and the other side was for the atomic bomb. And yeah, like, at the end we voted, and the entire class said, like, it makes sense, it's good, like, the bomb was, we're pro-bombing. And I remember our teacher being kind of like, oh, I thought it'd be more split. And it's like, you taught the subject. You're the one that should have realized that you were being too one-sided if you wanted to teach the nuances of the situation. Like, what did you expect?
Hey, so what if we just, like, did this in Iraq, too?
Glass it.
Yeah.
Glass it all. Turn the Middle East into a glass menagerie.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
Even with the latest legislative pushes from the right, maybe we've always been fucked. I don't know.
Truth.
We've never deserved peace and happiness, and we never will if we keep this shit up.
Yeah.
But we do deserve to hear about what Sega's doing in News of the Week! Sega's Super Game project is in fact a series of AAA titles including new entries in the Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi games. Both are a year into development, but could still be cancelled though. Also, they'll probably have NFTs in them.
I mean, can't any game that's in development get cancelled? You can say that about the most AAA high-profile video game ever. Like, this could get cancelled.
Yeah. The most crazy AAA high-powered game ever. Crazy Taxi reboot.
Do people know what Crazy Taxi is, or is it just us who have, like, watched YouTube gamers?
I don't know that I know what Crazy Taxi is.
I've heard of Crazy Taxi.
Passingly familiar.
I've played Crazy Taxi in arcades before. I absolutely know what it is. I don't have any sort of
affinity.
Yeah, like, I know it's like a huge cult thing where people love this game. I'm like, oh, it was kind of fun to put 5 tokens at Funset Boulevard in and ride this taxi down San Francisco hills and shit. And that was as much as I needed.
So, like, my hot take with this news, and I guess the upcoming one as well, there is a subset of person on the internet who I generally respect their opinions. They've been working in games or media criticism for a while, generally insightful. But they also tend to have an opinion where they'll think that, man, if Sega had just won the console wars or was still making consoles today, if the Dreamcast had taken off, things would be so much different, things would be so much better. And no, they would not. Sega would suck as much shit as any other major video game company, and my evidence is the shit that Sega is doing currently as a B-tier video game company. This behavior doesn't stop just because they have more money and success. If anything, it would exacerbate it.
Yeah, no, Lucas, if they had more market capital and more, like, pressure from shareholders to deliver on their quarterly investments, they'd be even better. That's why they're bad, is because they're not in the public eye as much and don't have all those pressures. That's why they're bad. Yeah.
But then we'd be on Shenmue 5 and I don't know if I could name another Sega IP other than Sonic, which is what we're going to talk about in the next one. So I guess that's the transition. The Sonic Origins Anniversary Collection is releasing just in time to cash in on the success of the Sonic 2 movie, but it also has the lauded de nouveau DRM software on Steam and a horrendous tiered purchasing system that locks character animations during loading screens to the Premium Fun Pack.
I don't think lauded. Do you mean like hated?
Not lauded. What's the word that?
Infamous?
Lurid?
I don't know what you're looking for.
I totally used the wrong word there.
Lauded is like
celebrated.
Loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like it. I don't know.
Languished? Is that what I was looking for?
Languished means it's been like laying around and decaying.
Toiled in obscurity.
Lurid?
Maybe? I don't know. No, that's vivid.
Oh, yeah.
Lucid?
That's all. Basically means the same as lurid.
The hated. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I was
don't have to dress it up.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Sonic.
As an aside, I do have to say I absolutely love, unironically, the process of people using $5 words, figuring out that they don't mean what they think they mean, and going back down to 25-cent words.
Yeah.
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 I have a hot...
It takes confidence.
Yeah. I have a hot take about this one as well. I don't want to upset anyone, so please know that the thing I'm about to say is totally Lucas podcast kayfabe, and not something I genuinely think. I want to get that out there. I think the reason I don't care about the Sonic franchise and have emotional attachment to any of the characters or the games or media is because I had a pretty good childhood.
Okay.
People with bad childhoods like Sonic.
Even neutral childhoods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mid. Sonic definition of mid.
So like what are you trying to let's drill down on this.
Yeah.
Like Sonic is for like poor kids or what is
Not necessarily poor kids, because I do subscribe to the theory that the reason there's so much weird Sonic fan art is because Christian parents thought that this fun animal game would be the thing to give to their very repressed children, and they warped that into all the weird, kinky Sonic fan art that we see today. And they might have money, but I wouldn't call living under a strict Christian household a good childhood.
I don't know. I feel like you're kind of just making shit up because you're assuming that Christian parents were like, okay, I'm going to get my kid a video game, and looked at Mario on the left and looked at Sonic on the right and said, ah, yes, the blue hedgehog looks much more Christian than the guy with the mustache. There's nothing in there that would make them choose one way or the other. Nintendo is not like the company of first-person shooter and sex games.
And Nintendo is pretty satanic when you think about it.
Right? Pokemon? Saying evolution is real?
Even though it's not at all like even a similar process to...
No, Pokemon evolution is what Seventh-day Adventists think evolution is, yeah.
Yeah. They'd enjoy it because it highlights how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Your Pichu fights a few Rattatas and all of a sudden it's a different animal? That doesn't make sense.
This turtle can't kill other animals and then suddenly it has cannons on its back. And that's what the Democrats want you to believe.
If you put a bunch of unassembled computer parts into a closet, how do they all just become a computer overnight? That was someone I knew's fucking dagger argument against natural selection. Literally every single time. Just like, that doesn't make sense. If you put an unassembled computer into a dark closet and leave it alone, it doesn't become a computer. And it's like, I
don't know where to go from here, man.
Yeah, I know you are right. I don't know how that has anything to do with anything, but yeah.
But infinite monkeys given infinite time will write Hamlet.
Yeah.
No.
I think I once said that, completely unrelated
Right.
To that guy. And yeah, he then was like, no, that's the same type of argument. So it was like, oh, you're bringing it back to the computer? He's like, yeah, no, like a computer unassembled in a dark closet won't just become a computer. And I was like, all right, this is your go-to.
No, he's got nothing else.
I don't think it's the killer that you really think it is, man.
The equivalent of that I heard was that if you put all the parts of a watch in a box, you can't shake the box, and it all comes together to make a watch. Which, as I analyze this argument,
good.
Yeah,
that one would actually work. If you shake the box an infinite number of times, eventually the parts would just happen to all fit together perfectly and make a fully functioning watch. They're just not comprehending the concept of infinity and just how much that is.
There's also an assumption.
Given enough tries, it happens.
There's also an assumption that we are somehow better or different than any other animal. That there isn't a lot of evidence to suggest that humans were not what we would consider humans until fairly recently in the scope of the universe.
Blink of an eye in the scope of a universe.
Hey.
We're all gonna die soon.
I mean, us, definitely.
The three of us.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like you have a plan.
I'm going out young or I'm living forever. No in between.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That feels like a weird hard line. What is young for you? Where's the cutoff? When do you all of a sudden have to go the distance because you're past young?
Under 30.
You don't want to die. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You better start moving
4 years
fast.
to kill yourself, or else you really gotta.
I was gonna say you've got 4 years to perfect immortality. Lucas made a pact, but then decided later on he doesn't want to kill himself, so he's furiously trying to figure out immortality because he doesn't want to die.
When's old? When's the cutoff for old then, where it's okay for you to die?
No. It's never okay for me to die.
Oh.
Period.
Unless you're under 30?
But I mean, also, I don't know, failing health, 85.
Failing health can happen at any age.
No, yeah, that's the condition that, I just assume I'm not going to be in great shape by the time I'm in my mid to late 80s. But also, yeah, if I am not doing well, I don't want to live totally compromised.
Lucas.
I don't want to live.
Lucas, you're really underestimating the speed of scientific advancement. Think about all the life-altering and extending medicines that the billionaire class will be able to have by the time you're 80 years old. You won't be able to have it, but they will.
Oh, I was really hoping you were implying I was going to be a billionaire for a second.
Oh.
Oh, we'll all be billionaires due to inflation.
Hey!
Yeah, no, minimum wage.
$2 billion an hour. We could do it. That'd be fun. I don't know. I mean, look, imagine living in a San Junipero world where your consciousness is uploaded to the cloud, and then you're just out on a farm somewhere until the servers shut down.
But I'm still dead. There's another
consciousness transforms.
No,
they figure it out.
No, consciousness transfer doesn't work. I will still just die.
Not yet.
Something that's a lot like me will continue going, and that's cool. I like that idea. I still would die.
You don't know that. Consciousness transfer isn't a thing yet. But it's coming, Andrew. It's in science fiction, so that means it's 60 years away.
Yeah.
That is the sweet spot, huh?
The pinnacle of science fiction decided that in a couple thousand years we'll have knives instead of guns.
2001: A Space Odyssey was before the moon landing. They predicted it, man. It'll happen.
Can't wait to hit that obelisk. do some weird shit.
Yeah.
Regret all my choices as a STEM major and be like, we should have sent a liberal arts poet for this one. I might be reading too deeply into that quote.
Yeah.
A complaint to the National Labor Relations Board was filed against Nintendo, a company that I like, by a former employee. It's a little shaky, but the complaint alleges that this employee was let go for expressing interest in joining a union. And then this is brought to light Nintendo's practice of stringing along contracted employees and treating them like second-class citizens.
Oh no. I love that your disclaimer is...
It's a little shaky.
Isn't like, I have an association with Nintendo. I must disclose that I do have a working relationship with Nintendo America. No, it's like, I like them, so I take it with a grain of salt.
Okay, more specifically, I am a fan of a lot of the games that are published on their platform. I enjoy those pieces of media. There's some shitty corporation stuff, though, and yeah, I think it was put best by somebody whose name I forget on Twitter. Yeah, I'm sure the reason Nintendo is so secretive about all of their company practices is because it's totally legit and not at all sketchy and or abusive. They won't even commit to saying, yeah, none of the components of the Nintendo Switch were created using slave labor.
Yeah, that's a guarantee that they were. That's one of those that's an easy denial.
Yeah.
They weren't. It's like Donald Trump not being able to properly disavow Nazis. So there you go.
There's only one reason you wouldn't just outright say no, and it's the answer is yes.
God, I hope this is real, but it might have been edited. Somebody calling out Notch on Twitter, just being like, hey man, if you really want to put a lot of these accusations to bed, just say you hate Nazis. Like, don't modify it. Don't add any caveats to it. Just be like, hey, I think Nazis are bad. And then he responded by saying, I hate Nazis and communists.
Classic. That's how you do it.
I don't know how far gone you have to be to think these are two equally bad groups, two equally bad ideologies.
I hate the alt-right.
But
and the counter-protesters who don't like the alt-right.
I think it's equally bad when people commit violence because they can't stand to see people that are different than them. And people that commit violence against people who commit violence when they can't stand that people are different than them. They're equally the same. Someone that punches someone in the face to defend someone is the same as someone that punches someone in the face because they don't like the way they look. It's the same.
Well, guys, more people died under communism than the Nazis. And by communism, I mean any socially progressive policy.
Yeah.
By communism, I mean 2 dictators.
Yeah.
Who single-handedly are responsible for 99% of those deaths.
Yeah. People love to say that communism was awful and then just talk about all the things that were just the fascist parts.
Yeah.
Just the Mao and Stalin parts.
And then, in the most news of the quarter, turns out Bobby Kotick is a pretty abusive boyfriend, and Facebook's Sheryl Sandberg pressured an outlet not to report that a restraining order was filed against him.
Cool. Wasn't she his girlfriend at the time that she did that?
Yes. So this is...
And then I think she then later was abused by him.
Probably. Also, yeah, just want to call out Sheryl Sandberg for a second, who stylized herself as a feminist icon. Yeah, that's a feminist move. That's a feminist move to be like, I don't want these reports of someone abusing women to be made public. That's great for women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute icon.
Oh, yeah. Like, what?
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Yeah, no, it's progressive when women are the ones doing the worst consequences of capitalism. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I love that. This is the type of article, though, that would make, like, New World Order lizard people conspiracy theorists very happy.
Oh, because these two billionaires
they're just somehow all connected and and defending each other.
Yep.
What a coincidence. Yeah. Is Sheryl Sandberg really a billionaire?
I think so.
Really?
She's
not even the CEO, right?
Isn't she still in a pretty high up position in Facebook?
1.7 bill.
Yeah.
She must be. She must have got in on like the ground floor then.
Probably.
Fun. She was nominated to the board, right?
Yes, she is on Facebook's board.
But originally she was named the COO. And she's still COO. She hasn't had a promotion in 15 years.
Wow.
As the company has grown from basically nothing to one of the biggest companies in the world.
COO is she's one of the highest paid and highest position employees in one of the world's biggest organizations. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of room for advancement at that point.
I work for one of these companies, and let me tell you, you just tack on extra titles.
No, she could be the senior COO.
Yeah. You just
I don't know if that's a thing.
The COO, Chief Media Analyzer, Product Innovation Leader. Like, you just say other shit. It's like Daenerys Targaryen. Like, you just keep tacking
Breaker
on
of Change, Stormborn, Sheryl Sandberg.
Executive COO. Sheryl Sandberg, COO.
Chief Executive Officer.
Sheryl Sandberg, COO, and captain of the Facebook softball team.
COO Prime. I am the Alpha COO.
I'm Darth Sandberg.
Wow. 1.7 bill. She has sold half of her shares in the company. So she's like liquid too. Like she's
I'm liquid.
She's got like a Billy in like throw it around money.
Yeah.
Not even like it's all tied up in shares. It's like, nah, that shit's in a bank account somewhere.
I keep this in a duffel bag. And I walk around with it. You see me and you think I'm going to the gym? No, I'm not. I'm off to buy a yacht.
That's my cash. It's all in bearer bonds. 1.1 bill.
I just keep gold jewelry on me all the time and trade it in at stores for things.
Yeah. I wear so much jewelry so when I get inevitably arrested for tax evasion, I can use it for bail.
I'm afraid of how much I like wine.
Oh my god.
I hate bald boys. I can't stand bald boys. Every time I see them, I think I'm back in the pants.
Oh no.
Moving on to film, John Wick creator Derek Kolstad wrote a spec script for a Streets of Rage movie. This is concerning because I've been workshopping a River City movie pitch for about 2 years now. Those are too similar of IPs to have them compete against each other.
If it's really successful, maybe a studio will bite and say, we gotta get in on this shit.
Oh, that's fair.
Lucas DeRuyter, you say you have a similar movie spec? Greenlit. We don't even have to read it.
No. Nor should you, because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
Cut me the check and that'll motivate me to finish it.
I forgot to put it in the planning document, but the Ghost of Tsushima movie has a director now, which means it's definitely happening. And I just think it's kind of weird that Ghost of Tsushima got greenlit for a movie after being out for like 18 months. And The Last of Us has been kind of working on that shit for the better part of a decade. And Uncharted was in development for literally 11 years.
I don't think the Ghost of Tsushima movie is ever going to come out.
I think it is. It's moving so much faster than these other projects did. And the thing is that in order to make a Ghost of Tsushima movie, kind of in the way that other video game movies have been made, this is just going to be a samurai movie. It doesn't have to capture the special feel of Ghost of Tsushima, because Ghost of Tsushima was good because it captured the special feel of 50 other samurai movies that came out over the last 100 years. And that formula is well established. It would be like, oh, we're going to make a Red Dead Redemption movie inspired by Red Dead Redemption, which just means it's a spaghetti western.
Andrew, what are the chances that the Ghost of Tsushima movie has a tie-in video game release? So you're playing the video game version of the Ghost of Tsushima movie based on the Ghost of Tsushima game.
And you also have one of the Fassbenders going back in time.
Is there multiple Fassbenders?
I think there's 2 of them.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Skarsgårds.
I was going to say Michael Fassbender, right? I don't... Does he have siblings?
Yeah, there's Michael Fassbender and Pichael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Oh, no.
All right, let's make the title list. Okay.
It lists Michael Fassbender as an actor and a racing driver. That's 2 things that he's equally well known for.
I had no idea.
He's married to Alicia Vikander.
I don't know who that
That's
is.
fun. She's like another actress. She's in what was she in recently? I thought she was in Ex Machina, but no. Yeah, she was. She was Ex Machina.
Wait, what?
She was in Ex Machina. She was the woman, the robot.
I thought that was Natalie Portman.
No?
Oh, I never saw Ex Machina. I thought...
Oh! Yeah, no, that was her.
Huh.
You never saw it, though.
No.
She was in Euphoria as a producer? That doesn't... Who was she in Euphoria? Oh, this is a different Euphoria. This isn't the show.
Oh, wow.
Tomb Raider.
Neat.
I remember that movie.
What a successful career.
The Green Knight. She was the lady.
Oh, the...
Yeah, with the belt.
Oh, no.
The combat? Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh, wait, no. She played 2 different characters in that movie. His actual girlfriend
Essel
and then the handjob lady.
Did they make her look different, or was that a part of it that
she had a different haircut?
Oh, yeah.
She was a sex worker. Who was pretty on the outs, and then and then it gets.
And then she was a lady.
Tossed to the curb. She was a lady who gives hand jobs to strangers and gives them a immunity belt, and then she gets absolutely curbed with the sex worker character when he comes back because he has to be king.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And he's like, lol,
and he's like, hey,
buy your son.
I see you're pregnant. I'll take that.
I'll be taking that.
And he's dead.
And he's dead, and I'm really sad, and I'm splitting in half.
I'm a finna head out. Takes the belt off.
Head
All right,
rolls
so
off
in other...
shoulders. Sorry.
So in other news, can you two please help me understand this situation? Because my current impression of all of it is that Republicans, who are bad, are stripping Disneyland of a special self-governing status, which is good. They're doing this because the Disney company, which is also bad, went back on their initial support of the very bad Don't Say Gay legislation and are now criticizing Republicans, which is good?
Yeah. DeSantis fucking hates Disney World because DeSantis is a very bad man who does very bad things, and Disney's a very public company who is usually required to denounce very bad things, right. as you do. And DeSantis, who does very bad things, doesn't like that Disney, the very big company that's in his very big state, says bad things about his very bad deeds. And now he's stripping them of their, their ability to just be their own city
Right.
and run themselves without really following laws, and they don't have to pay taxes to the state. So
Disneyland is basically the Vatican.
Yeah.
Disney World.
Disney World, sorry.
World.
Yeah, Disneyland also has a lot of like power in Anaheim and in the city that it's located in, but not to the same level as what they have in Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando is a city that has tons of tourist attractions, and Disney World owns like the whole fucking shit. Like they are in charge.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, so it's like,
but I think you nailed it.
Like, oh yeah, it is a pretty simple thing when it comes down to it. The one bad thing I'll say is that like now that community is going to get hit hard economically because they're all going to start having to pay more taxes. But again, they live in the state of Florida. There's no reason they shouldn't be paying taxes to the state of Florida.
Yeah.
And Disney should never have been able to have the power that it does. Also, DeSantis should go die in a ditch.
Yeah.
I hope... No, in real life. This one I'm owning up.
The video game.
I'm owning up to this one. Disney and DeSantis should just have a battle to the death where they just kill each other.
Disney's not going to stop existing.
No,
that's the issue.
I want
Disney...
Mickey Mouse to come out with a fucking lightsaber, and then I don't know, kill DeSantis and somehow kill themselves.
What is this fucking Kingdom Hearts?
It's like this epic dark reveal of this robed figure, and all of a sudden a blazing red lightsaber shoots out, and he takes off his hood, and it's Mickey Mouse. And then across the way, just the exact same reveal, like another dark robed figure and a red lightsaber shooting out, and he pulls off the hood, and yeah, it's Ron DeSantis, and it's just like, yeah, we're both shitty. I guess we'll fight now.
As a progressive, I don't... It's weird. And, like, the situation in Florida, the kind of legislation that the Florida government kicked off is very, very bad to marginalized people. But also now these two groups that are very sketchy are just fighting each other. And I'm just munching on popcorn from the sidelines a little bit.
It's like Epic Games and Apple.
Yeah.
It's like, you both kind of suck.
It would be a lot better. It would be a lot easier to enjoy if the center of this conflict wasn't, the Republican wave of just making being gay and transgender essentially illegal.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I don't... Yeah, I guess I didn't make this totally clear from the get-go. This isn't, Disney doing anything other than, we're going to stop giving Republicans money, publicly at least, and say, hey, maybe you're going a little too far in the gay and trans bashing stuff. And the Republicans okay, you're not able to do any of this anymore. You're going to have to actually operate under capitalism now.
You're blacklisted, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And it's another example of how, corporations just aren't fucking people.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care what any law says. This is literally Bob Chapek, the CEO of Disney, putting his foot in his mouth and being like, haha, I don't know. Government's gonna be governments. It's a whatever law. We don't really care. And then going that was a really bad move. Never mind. Maybe it is kind of bad and I worded it wrong. And then them getting absolutely fucking slapped with everything the Republicans have. And then they're like, all right.
I'm in danger.
I don't know what to do now. This is stupid. This is dumb. So what if we took Disney World and pushed it somewhere else?
Yeah, what if Disney World does what NFL franchises do whenever they want a new billion-dollar stadium, and they say, we'll leave if you don't make the taxpayers foot the entire bill of this giant fuck-ass stadium, and say, we're gonna move Disney World to Kansas.
Well, here's a loophole that Disney World could take a page out of Nicholas Garris's playbook, the owner of Mount Olympus Water and Theme Park in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin.
Another titan of the industry.
Yeah, no, equal footing in the industry, if you ask me. when Wisconsin Dells was not giving favorable the type of favorable treatment that he was looking for, he picked up the ticket booth of Mount Olympus Water and Theme Park and moved it to the Lake Delton side of his park. His park's fucking massive.
Right.
So he just put it on the other end, and therefore now the whole park, legally speaking, is in Lake Delton. Or it was the other way around. I don't remember which.
Right, right.
So Disney World needs to just move the ticket booth into Georgia or whatever the fuck, and then have a disconnected, but you can also sign in via your phone when you're in Orlando or some.
Yeah, no, like
Disney
World office is now in New York City.
There you go. You could do it.
Yeah. And we could also talk about some memes in the meme corner. Belle Delphine's back.
She's back.
Completely forgot about her.
I was looking at her Twitter feed since she came back. Just a stupid tweet.
Yeah.
Then it was like, haha, love you guys. Then it was a thirst trap.
Yep.
That was edgelord thirst trap. Every time a Minecraft YouTuber dies, my boobs get bigger. I guess
Fair.
Another Minecraft YouTuber died, and she was like, time to post a thirst trap, baby. Then a slime girl post.
And then she ate a light bulb.
Yeah, no, then I was getting there.
Yeah.
Eventually she ate a light bulb and bled everywhere and posted the results.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Is this real? Did she actually eat a light bulb and make her mouth bleed everywhere?
Real,
or
I think that's real.
That's a bit. I think. Although I guess
don't know, man.
if I'm keeping up with the lore correctly, the last time she went away was because she broke her foot. So this might be. Oh yeah, this is why I've been gone for a year. Although I feel if it were
also, she's not using the type of light bulb that. No, she might be actually. No, now that I look at it closer, I do think that is a full incandescent light bulb.
Yeah.
is she still making porn? Is that
Probably.
still a thing?
I think she stopped, right? There was like a hiatus. Is that what she's saying? I don't know.
I didn't know that she left Twitter. When I saw like Belle Delphine is back trending, I assumed that meant that like she had gotten banned and isn't banned anymore. But I don't think that's the case.
Okay, according to OnlyFans, she was last seen on the platform 2 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, now.
Right.
I'm saying for a year.
That I don't know.
2 minutes ago. Just missed her, Lucas. You could have asked her yourself. You could have paid her $45 to join her private Discord and asked her, hey, were you making porn for the last year?
And she could just give a one-word answer.
Yeah, no. And we're just like, look, worth it.
Oh, wait, hold everything. It's down to $35 a month.
Is that the intro tier or is that the private Discord server?
OnlyFans only has one tier, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. So not like Patreon?
No, I think that'd be closer to the Fansly platform, from my understanding. Yeah.
That's a good response.
In a video game.
No, that's not even...
Your Honor, you can clearly said I only jerked it furiously to Belle Delphine's feet in a video game.
Oh no. Oh no.
Fuck. I'm crying.
Yeah.
That was a quick response and I love it.
Yeah.
You are a fountain of knowledge, Lucas.
I'm also a fountain of fury because this hashtag justice for Johnny Depp stuff is driving me up a fucking wall. Have you guys seen any of this?
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone can have a take other than
they're both
Jesus
bad.
Christ, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are terrible people.
Right.
How is there any other take?
I keep seeing like, oh, this clearly shows Party A is actually the one that abused Party B. And it's like, no, guys, I have no doubt that the Amber Heard abusing Johnny Depp stuff is real. I have no doubt that she's lying and manipulative and hits him and shit like that. And there's also zero doubt in my mind that Johnny Depp is also a drug-addicted psychopath abuser.
Yeah. It's all coming out. No one's winning in this trial.
No, it's not even...
They really could have kept this all private and just moved on.
And like it's not even an abuse trial. It's a defamation lawsuit.
Yeah.
Like that, nobody's going to jail for this. This is just two famous people like airing their shit in public.
Yeah, no. Like I know that either, like, if you're saying justice for Johnny Depp, then you're just you're a misogynist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with saying that. And if you're like on Amber Heard's side saying, wow, Johnny Depp is such a monster, Amber Heard is this innocent victim, then I just assume that you aren't paying attention.
Right.
Like you're just not reading and watching anything. Like there's just hard evidence of both of these people being horrendous human beings. And if it was one way, either way, they would be in jail. Like the only thing keeping both of them out of jail is the fact that they were doing it to each other.
I'll own up to that. When this information was first coming out, 3 years ago now, I was firmly like, oh wow, yeah, Amber Heard, she's the victim in all of this. And then as more and more information came out, it became very clear that these are just two fundamentally not well people who shouldn't be anywhere near anyone, it seems like.
Yeah. I feel like some of it has been stoked a little bit by the fact that, like, Johnny Depp was kicked off of the stupid Harry Potter franchise, and Amber Heard wasn't.
Was Aquaman's wife.
Yeah. Yeah. And Amber Heard is in the same movie franchise. Amber Heard is still in the Fantastic Beasts movie.
Right.
But, like...
I mean, you can say that about our society.
Yeah.
Right. It's not our biggest problem.
No.
Though. Like, 100%... a male abuser is going to be taken a lot more seriously than a female abuser. Like that's a real thing about our society. And like, sure, it's a problem. I think if you think it's our biggest problem, I probably have some ideas about what your opinions are in the world.
If you think that women not being recognized as having the potential to abuse men is just as bad as the damage that men have done as abusers to women, if you think those things are equal, or that one, get the fuck out of here.
I have some ideas about some of your other
men murder women every single goddamn day.
Yeah.
Thank you both for validating me tearing my hair out at this situation.
I don't typically like to go the South Park both sides are stupid thing, but it fits in this case.
Yeah. And that is about all we're going to be able to fit into this call. We're going to take a quick break, jump into the other one, and move into the breakouts, probably. I'm sorry, did you guys have any other memes? Anything I'm missing?
Nah.
That's fair.
No, not really.
Okay. Then we're in the breakouts. I watched the first episode of Russian Doll Season 2. I don't think I like the premise as much as the first season, and I'm not sure how much more rope I'm going to give this one.
Damn,
Probably one more episode. Probably one more episode over a meal or something, but I don't know. Do you guys care if I mention even the setup of this, or...
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it soon.
Okay.
It's on my list. I have a list. It's running. I am caught up on Atlanta, almost caught up on Better Call Saul, and then I have Russian Doll, Severance, and Under the Banner of Heaven.
Okay.
So
Barry comes out tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Barry. But that goes without saying.
All right. There's the list of stuff you want to keep up with, and then there's the good shit.
Yeah.
All right. I will say Natasha De Leon is fantastic, and I wish she was in more stuff, although I understand that her on-screen presence makes that kind of difficult, because she's going to steal the scene of any production she's in. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, what have you been checking out? Well, you just listed what you're checking out. Any thoughts on any of that stuff?
No, those shows are good, fam. Better Call Saul's elite. Atlanta's having a very good season that is not getting nearly the publicity of its first two seasons because its target is white people. And yeah, white people don't like it.
I mean, wasn't the series always critical of white people?
It was always critical of white people, but for this season in particular, every single episode, pretty much so far, has been like, white people suck, which is fair.
Yeah.
And has led to some very interesting story beats. So, yeah.
Okay. Andrew, what are you doing? You got a couple movies under your belt. You got some Horizon under your belt. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so Horizon is still great. I probably could have finished the game today if I had switched some things around in my schedule. I got to the point where it's like, you're about to start the final mission and you can't go back until it's done. Do you want to continue? I'm like, no, I'm just going to save and do this later because the podcast was like an hour and a half away at that point, and I don't really know how long it's going to take to beat it.
Yeah.
So it's still great.
What's the hour count you're looking at right now?
56.
Oh, that's pretty manageable.
Yeah. So I think it said that I was like 51. I 51%ed the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously I still have to finish the story, but
right.
So I've done half of the content. And yeah, like when I finish the story, I'm gonna keep playing it. Like I'm gonna do some more side quests because it's fun. I'm gonna go blow up some big bad machines because it's awesome. I wish, the one gripe that I have with the game is that you get the ability to ride flying machines very late in the game. It's like the end, like the process of ending the story has started, and then you get the ability to fly the machines. I'm like, oh, I understand why they're doing it like this, but I wanted to do this from the beginning. And like I understand the reason that they did it is because then you're just flying over the world that you're supposed to explore explicitly on foot in order to like engage with the shit happening and see it all. But I like flying around in a giant metal pterodactyl. That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, the way you worded that, you get to ride a flying machine. It's like, oh, cool. Airplanes exist in this. Helicopters are here.
Nope.
That weird Da Vinci aerial screw.
No. Although there is there's a character from early on in the story that I didn't come back to for a while because I'm like, oh shit, like there's all this other stuff going on. I want to go do that. And then before I started like the process of ending the story, it's like, oh, I should probably go back and do the couple of things that I've like wanted to do before this happened. So I went back and visited this guy. Mm-hmm. And he is like, hey, Aloy, good to see you again. I need you to get me some shit because I'm building a flying machine. He's like, I'm building a hot air balloon. No one else has flown before except for you. And like I could tell there was like a dialogue thing that, you know, you can either have one or the other depending on where you are in the story when you do it. It's like, except for you, you've flown before. I just saw you. You came in on a giant fucking flying pterodactyl. This is kind of weird now, but let's still do this.
Has Aloy discovered a third clone of herself that is also the U.S. president?
No.
Okay. Well.
But I am enjoying the hell out of this game. My best friend is now dead, so I'm sad. But, you know, it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so other than Horizon, I still have not been able to go see Everything Everywhere All at Once. My schedule just didn't allow it, but I still want to go see it. I did, however, see The Northman, directed by Robert Eggers, director of The Lighthouse, and also The Witch, which I have not seen. But this movie fucking rocks.
Okay.
This movie is Viking Shakespeare. It is basically just Hamlet. I think I talked about it before, that Hamlet is based on an old Viking legend, and this is just an extreme version of that. I did actually go through, and it's not like there is no written version of the Viking legend. It's just you can find synopsis of it places. This does not follow that story, other than like the very bare bones of like, this is Amleth. He's the prince. His father was murdered by his brother, and then tries to get revenge in various ways. This movie fucking slaps. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect.
That's not what I was expecting.
I mean,
this movie fucking slaps. I mean, like 4 stars.
So, like, I will say the advertising for this movie gave me no impression of what to expect for this movie other than this dude who doesn't seem like he's in the best shape, but has killer abs is in it. And I guess that's what it's about. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I mean...
Oh, yeah?
So, it very much feels like an old Viking legend of, like, Amleth, you have been fated. You gotta do this thing, and then you gotta do that thing, and then this other thing's gonna happen. And, like, he's like, all right, now time to do all the things that this prophet said I would do, and then he does it. And it's very much broken up into parts of, like, I gotta go locate my uncle, and then I gotta go get this magic sword, and then I gotta go gain his trust while also sowing the seeds of discord, and then I gotta terrorize his knights by committing slaughter and shit. Also, there's a moment in the movie where he kills guys. I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you, because you should see it, but the premise is very simple. You know exactly what's going to happen, because they tell you 20 minutes into the movie, Amleth, these 5 things are going to happen.
Oh.
I hit you, you hit the floor.
The ambulance hits 90 on the way to the hospital. But there's a point where he kills these 2 guys and then, like, makes basically White Walker art with their body parts and, like, pins it to the side of the house to scare the shit out of people. And in the morning, this guy is, like, screaming because he's like, look what happened to my friends! My fucking friends are in pieces on the side of the building. Who could have done this? And this one person's like, I bet it was one of the slaves. They're always scheming. And then someone says, no, the slaves are Christian. They're too meek and pacifist. They wouldn't do something like this. And the guy responds, their god is a corpse nailed to a tree. This is right in their wheelhouse. This is exactly the kind of thing they would do.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, the movie fucking rocks. It's just people talking in Shakespearean English while swinging swords around and being like, I am the son of Odin, I shall slay thee, and then fighting a giant zombie guy. And yeah, it's...
Wait.
He's a
There are
Draugr.
zombies in Hamlet?
It's a Draugr. He gets a magic sword from a Draugr. Yeah.
Huh.
You don't remember the zombies, Lucas?
I don't think I ever read Hamlet.
It's Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and the
This
and the
isn't
zombies.
Hamlet. It's just similar.
Okay.
It's Viking Lion
There's
King.
Claudius, and there's Lady Macbeth, and then zombies.
I mean, look, if we can make Romeo and Juliet work with zombies, we could probably do the same for the rest of Shakespeare's anthology.
I will say, I think you
Bibliography.
guys should see it. It is an absolutely epic movie in the original sense of the word. It's stunningly shot. It's very fun to watch, and it is just like a whoa, that was so cool kind of stuff going on. And this has never happened to me in a movie theater before. The entire time that I was watching, not in like an annoying way, in like the crowd is feeding off what's happening in the movie. Not that it was a big crowd at the movie theater, but there was this one guy a couple seats away from me that occasionally would go like, oh shit, or oh, I know he's not kissing his mom. like that kind of shit. And then when the movie was done, he came up to me and he's like, okay, were you paying attention? I'm like, yeah, I was. I paid attention to the movie. I gotta ask. And then like we talked about the movie for like 10 minutes. But I was also just completely worn out from the movie and like was trying to say certain words and my brain was not able to pronounce them. I was just like, like, yeah. Like that's the kind of shit I was saying. Because he was like, do you think this was symbolism for this other thing? I was like, yeah, you know.
I think that you think it might have been symbolism is more telling than whatever the movie was actually saying.
Yeah, no, go see the
Art is
Northman.
up to
It's
interpretation.
fucking wild.
All right.
God, I've got 3 movies now, and I have no idea when I'm going to watch them.
Right.
I gotta watch Unbearable Weight of Massive
Yes.
Talent and The Northman, and then I really do want to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I don't. When am I going to watch these fucking movies, man?
We gotta get this fucking
Marathon!
vaccine.
We gotta get this fucking vaccine. I don't think I can marathon with AMC A-List.
Oh, weird.
I want to say you have to space it out. I'm
I-
not positive. Movie Pass was great for that shit.
Yeah.
You could just reserve a movie and then reserve another movie and then reserve another movie. You just be like, I don't give a fuck, man.
Okay, I was about to pitch that we go theater hopping, but I'm not 17 anymore. I don't need to be doing that. I don't need to be doing that petty crime.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nah, fam. I can pay for a movie.
Yeah. We're doing.
I've never done that. That's another thing.
Really?
Like dine and dashing. It's never crossed my mind to just go into another movie theater after my movie's over.
You were never hanging out at an AMC with your friends on a random Saturday night. Like you finish up with a movie you actually wanted to see, and you're like, well, none of us need to be home for another 5 hours. Let's just go see 22 Jump Street and walk into that theater as it's like 5 minutes into showing the previews.
I've never in my life.
Ah.
And it's another thing. Hasn't even crossed my mind. It's not that I'm more moral or anything like
Yeah.
that. I just never really crossed my mind as something to do.
Oh, fair. For what it's worth, A Million Ways to Die in the West and 22 Jump Street, pretty solid double feature.
22 Jump Street
Huh?
is an unbelievably good movie.
No, fair.
Very underrated movie.
I would say better than the original.
At least as
Yeah.
good. I will say the credit sequence of 22 Jump
Yes.
Street might put it over the original.
Wait, 22 Jump Street has the I forget her name, the blonde actress from Workaholics, and right? Okay, no,
Yeah.
she puts that over the edge for me easily.
I mean, all the sequel humor is
Yes.
pretty impressive. Like the self-aware sequel humor in 22 Jump Street is off the fucking charts. The giant budget increase, how they're just their base is like 10 times as fancy and it's all futuristic and yeah.
Oh no, dude, this tattoo, this is of my high school team, the Redmayne Red Herrings.
Yeah. And that's what's his name? From American Vandal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh.
That was the main
That was
subject
the dick
for
drawer.
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
Vandal season 1. Yeah. Who drew the dicks.
goddamn.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then also the other guy is also famous. Zook. The guy who ended up being the bad guy,
yeah.
Channing Tatum's best friend. He's also famous. What's his he's like I think he's an actor's kid.
Yeah, he's wasn't he in like Black Mirror and then also Overlord?
Wyatt Russell. Yeah, he's Kurt Russell's kid. And whoever Kurt Russell's wife is, who's also famous, I can't remember. Goldie Hawn. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's kid.
Good for Jonah Hill doing well, I guess, but also I'm a little upset that he is so successful now. Because he is just tailor-made to be in these weird mid-budget projects and do very well in them.
He's done plenty of them.
Yeah.
And he continues to. He takes pay cuts and shit to be on Scorsese movies.
Yeah, I mean, but like, that's a Scorsese movie. That's not like, this is a very weird, very goofy movie. Let's get Jonah Hill for
An
it. That
extremely
era has
goofy
passed.
movie.
Ah,
Damn bitch, you live like this?
I kind of want a goofy movie reboot where Jonah Hill plays PJ now, but we're probably not going to get that.
I don't want to reboot the Goofy movie. The Goofy movie, another very underrated movie.
Yeah.
Just a genuinely well-made movie.
Wait,
That has a lot of heart and a lot to say.
the Goofy movie or an extremely goofy movie?
I don't know. I was young.
Because I agree with you either way. It's just a matter of intensity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, no, I have to unpack some of these thoughts and feelings before I voice them on this podcast. What I don't have to unpack, though, is the fact that I beat, pretty much, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That last super boss is an annoying pain in the ass, and I'm not going to humor this game anymore.
You're not going to humor it? You're like, this game is great. I don't want to fucking play it.
I have had my fill of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's good. I beat the original version of Satan. I don't have to beat Chaos with fucking alt colors and possessing Satan. It's fine.
You don't have to kill Chaos?
No.
I'm here to kill Chaos.
That was actually really good, dude.
Yeah, Lucas, I'm a voice actor.
My son has been kidnapped.
They're
hacking our mainframe. In English, Four Eyes. They're fucking our pussies. Now you're speaking my language.
That was a meme, a Metal Gear Solid meme I sent Andrew earlier today, late last night, in fact. And yeah, pretty good, pretty top tier.
I'm uncomfortable.
This is the first Kirby game I ever beat. I've been familiar with the franchise for a long time. First time I ever sat down and fully beat a game. And I have some thoughts about this world, these characters. Meta Knight, a little bit of an edgelord. I'm not saying he's not legit. I'm not saying he's not the real deal. But underneath the mask, he's just a purple Kirby with yellow eyes. And, like, that makes me think, you know what? There are probably some, like, Slipknot posters up in Meta Knight's bedroom. Yeah. Apparently I cannot hear the word Morpho without hearing it in the Mighty Monarch's voice.
Mighty Morpho.
The Blue Morpho.
Exactly. Because there is another lesser super boss in this named Morpho Knight. And just every time I read that word on screen, right there to it. There's also an extended bit in this game where, like, the extra New Game Plus shit is you are trying to save a bad guy who is trapped in a psychic dimension by an eldritch horror. And, like, he had never done anything to redeem himself at this point in the game, so it's like, oh, this dude who kidnapped a bunch of our friends, a bunch of innocent waddledees, is just in hell, basically. I think that's fine. Yeah. If I were making these decisions and not Kirby, I'd leave him there. But Kirby, better person than I am, apparently. And then one weird thing I will shout out is that there are ads in this game for previous Kirby games. You can like go into a scrapbook that's basically titled "Look at these old adventures," and then see advertisements for other Kirby games. But they're only Kirby games on the Nintendo Switch, 3DS, and Wii U. So only the ones Nintendo is actively selling, is actively profiting from. That's the ones they're going to highlight. Not the games that made this franchise, not the actual chronology of this substantial series. And that's a little bit of a bummer for me. That's all I had. Anyone else want to shout out anything else before we talk about weird sports shit and whatever else we're bonding over now? Okay then. Group chat. The U.S. Capitol building and related offices were evacuated on 4/20 because U.S. troops parachuted onto the field of the National Stadium as part of their military appreciation night. Apparently that wasn't cleared with whoever they needed to clear that with, and yeah, people at the Capitol building just assumed that was a potentially terrorist-piloted aircraft near their airspace.
They thought it was about to go all Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
Just fucking North Korean people about to start shooting up the Capitol. It
is increasingly clear now that the people in charge of security at Capitol Hill are not
good at their jobs.
Yeah. 0 for 2 in a year and a half span. Not great.
At a certain point here, I feel like a an enemy government should just be like, maybe we give it a try. Maybe we give it a try. Like, it seems like we got a decent shot of making this work.
Yeah. I wonder, because I say over 2, but like how many attacks have actually been thwarted?
Right. They don't advertise.
Over the course of American history, I'm sure at least a few. Yeah. But yeah, like, you ever wonder that? Like, you're like, okay, like 9/11, success. Huh? That's one we know. It was also the Twin Towers were bombed before that. I don't know, other major terrorist attacks that weren't thwarted. Like, how many were? What would you estimate is the batting average of the United States authorities?
You mean like
in stopping
a year, or like what is their success rate? Because
all time.
Yeah. Do we count the Oklahoma City thing? Is that?
Yeah, that's a terrorist.
Yeah. Oh, you're not just the capital. You're not just talking about the capital.
Yeah, no, like United States authorities, like what percent are they in actually like averting terror attacks? Because I bet you they would say 99%. We have so many legitimate threats that we're eliminating before they even happen. Like, yeah, a couple slip through the cracks, but what can you do? What is it actually? Like, serious attempts that are actually being stopped. Like,
I'm going to count those rednecks taking over that state park as a successful terrorist attack.
Yeah,
sure.
Surprisingly high now that I think about it, because knowing the state of the U.S., what U.S. media is, what the U.S. government is, if they successfully stopped a terrorist attack, everyone's going to know that.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I don't think there's, like, a hidden cache of terrorist attacks that they've kept under the radar. Maybe, like, a couple that were, like, uber serious.
I think there are a couple.
Right.
Probably, yeah, like the super serious existential ones that would send people into a panic that it even got that close.
Like, if
I feel like they probably...
Like, if they found out that, like, they were really close to, like, setting off a bunch of fucking nukes or something, that...
Yeah. Like, the power grid for half the country was going to be down for weeks, and they just barely skirted by.
I'm guessing that there's probably a handful of those, but yeah, I feel like most of them that are taken care of are advertised, and there's not that many of them, so...
Yeah. That's fair. I guess the feds wouldn't publish that, somebody dug up an electrical wire and the Pentagon was just without power for half a day. Like, they're not putting that out there, but...
Yeah. Everything's fragile, right?
Yeah.
The older you get, the more you realize how fallible humans are.
Yeah.
It makes all of human accomplishment that much fucking cooler.
Right.
But it also is terrifying.
Like,
it is like, when you were a kid, it was like, yeah, sure, humans built that pyramid. That sounds like something we could do. Yeah, humans land on the moon. That's like, yeah, people are really awesome. And then you grow older and you're like, how in the fuck did any of this shit happen? That makes zero
trial
sense.
And error, baby. Trial and error.
Kinda, but not really. Like, not really any astronauts died in the course of the moon.
There's no way Russia is telling the truth.
Okay, but Russia didn't land on the moon. So that's what I'm saying. Like, NASA wasn't exactly like throwing spaghetti at the wall until something stuck. Like, they were very fucking calculated. The only deaths in the Apollo program were during a test on the ground. Like, it wasn't even an aborted launch or anything. I don't know.
Mankind, we're going to throw people or money at these problems.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're socially beneficial to us if we solve them.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how we do things.
I mean, I don't want to, like, try to downplay the success and the absolute fucking miracle that it was to, like, put people on the goddamn moon. But it is just a series of numbers and then getting materials to do what those numbers want you to do. And so, like, it's hard.
But have you ever read the list of fuck-ups?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, this one tiny little piece was installed using metric calculations instead of imperial, so everything exploded. Like, it's just like, how? With the margin of error that slim, how the fuck did any of this shit happen? Like, it makes no sense. So... Yeah.
We didn't just get man to the moon. We got man to the moon in the king's measurements.
We got them back too. I always thought that was the coolest part, because honestly, you take a rocket and you throw people at the moon, you can get them there. You gotta figure out how to fucking get them back. That's the hard part.
You haven't played Kerbal Space Program, have you?
Yeah, because it's fucking impossible. Kerbal Space Program will do nothing but increase your respect for NASA. Yeah, you think, oh, you point the rocket towards the moon, and the rocket goes there. No, you calculate where the moon will be so that you can properly intercept the moon's orbit. You don't also go straight to the moon. You orbit the Earth and use the Earth as a fucking slingshot to go towards the... Like, it doesn't... None of it makes any fucking sense. Like, it's not intuitive. It just happens. Like, I don't know.
All right, Mr. Knievel, we strapped a couple of M80s to the back of your motorcycle and up the slope of this ramp a little bit. They'll get you pretty close. They'll get you spitting distance at least.
My first moon landing in Kerbal was I turned off, like, fuel, so I always had unlimited fuel, and did that. Like, I tried to chase the moon. No, it's fucking impossible. Like, I was like, I'll just point it at the moon and
I'll get you,
see what
moon.
happens. Yeah, doesn't work.
Fly me to the moon. Let me kick its fucking ass. Let me use the moves I learned in my moon jujitsu class.
From our perspective, we forget how fast the moon is.
Yeah. Unfathomably fast.
Yeah.
Faster than any object humanity can create.
Okay. I don't think we can top this one. I think we got to cut the podcast here because I'm not going to be able to top this conversation. Thank you all so much for listening to episode 181 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, which will almost certainly be titled Pichael Fassbender. If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc., check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for highlight clips. ActBlue link in the description down below. Support us either on the Anchor Podcast platform or through our Patreon by joining the likes of the terrific Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and Sensual Richard Nixon. Send us your questions and business opportunities, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter for updates at V2_podcast, and follow me at Lucas DeRuyter on Twitter to keep up with all of my writing. I hope you all have a fantastic week. See you next time around.